What's up, listeners? You know that feeling at the end of the day when you want to relax, talk to your friends, and share the latest tea? These are the conversations that are usually limited to your private group chat, but we're inviting you to share the fun with us. Get ready for raw, unfiltered, laugh out loud conversations among friends. So take your bra off, get comfy, and let's jump into our show.
Hey.
Hi.
How was Michigan, girl?
It was good. Yeah, I've
know.
been traveling, jet setting all over the place in Michigan, where everybody thinks about jet setting. No, it was nice. I went home for family stuff. Yeah. We and my family, I would say like 50% of the people's birthdays and anniversaries are in June and July. Like I have a June birthday. I can't even keep track. I just know like about that time, it's like June and July and then one in November, like November 21st, we have at least 3 or 4 birthdays. So I keep trying to do the math, like what kind of get busy music was happening, 9 months prior to that. But no, it was really good. It was a good trip. We had a lot of celebration. We took pictures, a lot of cake. So I love my birthday. I love celebrating birthdays.
The whole month. The whole summer.
Do you guys do birthdays? How do you feel about the birthday getting older thing?
Listen, I'm grateful to wake up another day.
That's right.
It's really, that's sweet. She's like, that's nice.
She's like, F that.
God, aging. I mean, I do think aging is a privilege. Everybody doesn't get to grow old. But then there's that other part of me that's like, this sucks. Like, this is awful.
Really?
Yeah, it's, every day I think I wake up and there's something.
Like what? What do you mean?
Like my back hurts and my knee, and I have a new mole. Like, it's like, what is this? What's that? Like, I sneeze too hard and like crack a vertebrae. Like, it's like,
okay.
It's too much.
I thought that was just me. I really dread sneezing because I actually do have a disc, like the degenerative disc in my back. Mm-hmm. So when I sneeze, that shit hurts so bad. I'm like, don't sneeze. Don't do that.
You can't hold it in. You're going to explode. Like, it's like they get more powerful as you get older. I don't know what it
does.
is.
I think because we're trying to hold it in.
Yeah.
But I like getting older. I'm a big birthday person. I'm someone who celebrates like the entire month. Mm-hmm. It's so much fun to me. And I guess I don't really care. And maybe I'm old enough to be at that age, like when your grandmas and stuff are like, I don't give a crap,
Yeah.
That's how my grandma was. But I'm at that age. I'm like Fiorella. I'm so excited to be up every morning. I do my little couple gratitude pieces, and always one of them is, hey, I'm up this morning and I look at my gray hairs. I'm like, oh yeah, still cute. The little wrinkles. I'm like, oh, that just shows that I'm smiling. So I'm less worried about the aging stuff. I could care less, actually.
Yeah.
I'm still cute. I'm gonna be cute until I die.
She's gorgeous. Yes, it's so true. I mean, this is kind of sad and personal, but my dad was only 67 when he passed away. And, I see my in-laws, my father-in-law is in his 70s, my mother-in-law is 75, and they are like thriving. Like if you were to see her, this girl can run and walk forever. Like they dance salsa like crazy. It's incredible. And in my head, I think like, wow, like they've reached this age and they're thriving. I'm just thinking, like, obviously, if daddy was here kind of thing. So I'm very, and he was, when we were younger, he was the kind of person that, his dad died when he was 49. So for him, when he hit 50, he celebrated because he's like, I lived longer than my dad. Oh, wow. So it's one of those things where it's like, I get to say, like, I'm surviving. I'm thriving and surviving.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That is really sweet.
And I it's been interesting because how it's summertime. We've had all the summertime movies coming out. And so I've been, of course, doom scrolling all the stuff on Instagram and TikTok and all the premieres. And the I Know What You Did Last Summer premiere and Jennifer Love Hewitt. So, back in the day, I remember Jennifer Love Hewitt is this little 18-year-old, and now she's like, 40 something, whatever,
46.
has kids, all this other stuff. But man, the haters online, they're like, oh, she's so blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, she doesn't look like a teenager anymore. She's still a beautiful woman, and she's like 30 years older. What do you expect? And I see the same kinds of things online. So it was Freakier Friday. So they're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis. They're talking about Lindsay Lohan. And then, it just seemed like all of a sudden, and maybe it's because, the algorithm, they're stalking me. They know what I'm watching. That all these things with actresses are like, look at them then, now look at them now. And I'm like, okay, how would you feel if someone took your 10th grade picture and was like, why don't you look like this now? And I'm like, do we have this unrealistic expectation of aging, or is it just women, women aging? We're not allowed.
Listen,
it's not okay. You're supposed to look like you're 17 for the rest of your life.
So being the hairstylist, obviously I would do color. And whenever I saw that somebody had a beautiful gray pattern as it was growing up, I would literally tell them dude, this is gorgeous. Stop coloring your hair. And in my head, I'm like, so why is it that men are silver foxes, but women are old and haggard because they go gray? So in my head, it's why is it acceptable for men to be silver and sexy, but women are, you're getting older? No, it's the same shit. And I told you the other day, what's really cool about going gray specifically is it's a thumbprint. No one's ever going to have the pattern you have. If you have a beautiful gray pattern, no one can ever naturally have that. So I think it's cool that you have this natural, one of a kind thing that no one can ever have, but it's frowned upon because it's aging. So it's for what? And I will say all of my clients that went gray, literally compliments left and right. Oh my God, they love my hair. I always get stopped how beautiful my hair is. They ask where I get it colored. I'm like, it's not, it's natural. I'm like, of course. You're welcome.
Yeah, everybody's getting their hair colored gray now.
Thank you.
Remember that?
Thank you.
And I was just I had a photographer that I worked with, gorgeous woman, and she had this very public, I'm going gray journey. She's a photographer / influencer / lots of things. But anyway, she had a big presence, and she documented her gray journey. And I think she looks great. In fact, I'm sorry for people who may disagree with me, but when you have really gray hair and you're really coloring it, I think that makes you look worse than if you just embraced what your hair was naturally doing in the first place. So, but I really appreciated Miranda's documenting of the journey, because a lot of people want to just first stop, no offense to the hair industry, but investing in all this color and chemical and whatever they're doing to their hair, and they just kind of want to live. And I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with us just living and looking the way that God intended us to look?
Yeah, I think as far as unrealistic expectations, yeah, if you look at the pop culture, we got the Kardashians and the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I mean, obviously, Lindsay Lohan's getting a lot of praise for her new face, and
that's a
Jennifer,
brand new face.
the brand new baby fresh out the vag face. And
Wait, what?
Yes,
Fresh out the vag?
yes,
Okay, that's a new
newborn
one.
baby face.
Okay. I have not heard that one.
Her newborn baby face, and then Jennifer Love Hewitt. It's ew, soccer mom, and it's I'm
And she
sorry.
still looks really good. I bet you she's probably a size 8 or something.
She looks
incredible.
Great. She's a mother of 3. She's 46. She just is aging like a fine wine to me, but she didn't drink the baby stem cells.
Boom.
And then Lindsay Lohan did, and then that's why she looks how she looks, and that's why Jennifer Love Hewitt looks how she looks, and that's fine. I think I kind of see it in both ways. I think if you want a facelift and you want to do these things to your body to feel more confident and feel more like yourself, go for it, But if you also want to age traditionally, do that. No, I mean, that's what it is. But sure, we are in a day and age now where we have to be real. The reality stars aren't really living in reality. I mean, they're trying to defy gravity and paying their way to forever look 21, and it's not realistic at all.
I think the big issue I have is less about the choice, because I'm like, hey, do what you want to do. You want to get implants, you want to do, face stuff or whatever Kris Jenner did and all that stuff, go for it. But the issue I have is about the message, which is the message saying it's not okay to be as you are. Because here's my thing, I want to look good. I want to, I'm going to put on lipstick. I put on my sunscreen and all this other stuff. I care about the glow of my skin. But the other thing is I do that because I want to do it and I want to look nice, not because I'm fighting something I'm scared of. And so what I worry about, because then you look at the one, okay, rewind. When you were 18, 21 years old, what was your skincare routine? Like, let's be honest. What was it?
You know, we all have that Say Knives, apricot
Swiss
scrub, girl.
formula.
If
Take
it
off
wasn't
15
taken,
layers.
I was gonna say, if you weren't bleeding by the time you washed
that
your
was
face off,
harsh.
then you weren't doing enough.
Yes.
Followed by the little Bernie pads or
Those
whatever.
Noxzema pads.
Noxzema.
Yep. Because you couldn't have an ounce of oil on your face.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
It had to be dry.
But like today's young women, I mean, you see them like, oh, I'm going my Sephora haul, and they've got like a 25-step skincare routine. There are 20-some-year-olds getting Botox. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, are they so scared of looking? First of all, I don't understand what they're scared of. They're 18 and 21 and 22 years old. You look fine. But it's like, what is it, that message around, you better look whatever, you better
Perfection.
look perfect, you got to look like you're 18 forever, like this whole vampire thing. And I'm just like, what? So that's the message that I have an issue with. Because I'm like all for, hey, get what you want, you know, load up on what you want. But like the why is important to me. So, you know.
You know, I think that it's ironic too, because as the women who are older, and I apologize if you're somebody who looks like this, but the fillers and the Botox, and they're like literally, like it's obvious that they are very filled and tucked, that it's like, you worked a little too hard. I almost feel like your wrinkles would have looked a little nicer. Like, what are you trying so hard for?
Look.
The
Yeah.
lips. Oh.
Like when you're clearly over 65 and you look like you're trying to be 25, like...
But don't let them get on the TikTok
Yikes.
thing with the trend where they do the "let me clear my throat" the audio. Have you've seen this? And they're like, "Oh, I'm 55. This is what 55 looks like." Put the thing on. I'm like, "Girl, stop." Because I mean,
You're looking a little older.
and someone commented and they're like, "Look, I think I look young for my age too, but I know if I do this trend, I'm gonna get my feelings hurt because there's
Real
nothing where
fast.
TikTok is like having bad lighting, you know." But the whole point is like, I don't know, like, why are people so obsessed with it? Like, my thing is, I probably don't look my biological age, but I'm also not like, oh my God, I'm trying to look a certain age. I just do. I'm sure it's a combination of genetics, clean living, really good sunscreen and skincare or whatever. But it's not like every day that occupies enough of my life to like really think about it or obsess about it. So
I think it's a part of me not always wanting to reveal my age is because people are obsessed with it. They judge you as soon as you say your age, like you were fucking in World War II or something. Like, they look at you as if like, okay, well, you're 50, so that means you should have X, Y, and Z. And then if you don't have those things, then they proceed to, and maybe it's not from a malicious place, but they're judging you to your face. Like,
No,
oh, you
that's
don't have
mean.
kids? What's wrong with you? Oh, you haven't been married? Oh, well, how come this and how come that? And they just feel like you're giving them that permission to judge your life and your lifestyle and what you've done and where you've been. And so I think there's a whole concept of maybe like slowing down time, right? Like if you look younger, time is standing still for you. Right.
Interesting.
And I think, and that's why I can see it, or like older people wanting to have the fish mouths and the freaking like Botox and the filler because they want people to look at them and think, oh, like she's still got a lot of time to do.
Yeah, it just does the opposite though. For some people,
sure.
I will say,
Yeah.
the first person I know who actually had Botox, I was blown away. I had no idea. She looked amazing, and I was just like, "Holy crap!" We're the same age too. I was like, "Girl," I mean, it had me thinking like, "Oh, Botox," but I'm like, "No, I don't want anybody sticking needles in my face."
Do you think Kris Jenner looks good?
She looks
Yeah.
fantastic. She
Absolutely.
does.
Absolutely. I just...
No shade on people who
I'm
are
just
doing
curious,
some of
yeah.
these things. The physical piece, like of course there are going to be things on the plastic surgery side or the whatever side that are not for me, and that's fine. But it might be for other people. I shouldn't even make fun of people with the fish lips. It's not my place to make judgments. If they like it, I love it.
Sure.
But I think the thing that still stand by is like the mentality. And just because everyone tells you that being older is bad, I mean, I think that's our opportunity to fight it. You could and still get your, get your little stuff done. But my thing is, get your stuff done because you like it, you love it, you want to do it, not because everyone else is telling you this is how you should look, or that there's some sort of like deficiency in how you view your life at a certain age. So like, that's my thing. I mean, I've had plastic surgery before. I won't tell you what, but I've had stuff before, and and I felt fine doing it. And I felt fine with other stuff. So it's not a judgment on everybody should be natural, because I'm like, do what you want.
Right.
But it's like, I don't want someone to make me feel so bad about myself that I have to go change,
right,
or to say that I have no value after a certain age. Don't get me started on those Fresh Fit podcast people. And y'all can quote me, you're a bunch of turds, turn off your microphones, you're destroying the world. Anyway. Sorry.
So I think that pretty much what you were just touching on now, like, I think there's the problem, is that we are aging and we're trying to mask the aging for the sake of somebody else. And I think that's the problem. I think that if you're doing this and like you said, if you want to get plastic surgery, for you, great. You want to do this for you, great. But if you're coloring your hair, if you're getting the Botox and the fillers, if you're doing the makeup and whatever, like, and you're doing it with somebody else in mind because that's who you're doing it for, that's where the problem lies, because of the outside acceptance that you're looking for. And I think that, like, the world is coming to, at least I feel like I'm hoping, that we're coming to an understanding that we need to do things for ourselves. At the end of the day, like, I'm not working to put food on your table. I mean, you're not doing all this to pay my car. So it's like, we have to do it for ourselves. So if you want to color your roots for yourself, amazing. But if you're over it and it's exhausting and it's time consuming and expensive for you, then stop doing it and enjoy what you have. I literally, my best friend, she's a single mom, and homegirl has been going gray since she was 16 years old. And so when I was doing her roots, the first time I started doing her hair, it was easily she was your common every 4-week root touch-up girl. Then it got to a point where, like, it was like 3.5 weeks, and then it was 3 weeks, and then it was a little sooner. I'm like, girl, just stop coloring your hair. So then I did this whole, the transformation when you go from, like, a darker color to, because obviously gray is practically white, I had to, like, pretty much bleach the whole head and then tone it to look gray.
Right.
At first she loved it, and then she went to work. And the judgment. Everyone shot her down. And ironically, it was the younger people, but like younger than her. They're like, your hair looks amazing. Where the older people is like, you look haggard. You look awful.
I
You
wish a
shouldn't
mother
be that color.
would say something to be like that. After I spent my hard-earned money and I thought I looked good, and someone tried to tell me
Listen,
something.
she was my best friend, so I'm lucky I didn't charge her. However, it took me 8 hours to bleach the whole head and tone it to make it look appropriate. And I told her, I was like, if you color that, I'm never coloring your hair again. I will never color it. And I never did.
Did she go back?
She went back to dark. Her hair is practically, it's almost black pretty much now.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Because she has to do it herself. But it's like, but I know she's struggling because she has to do it so often. And in my head, like, I'm also somebody who values time. So for me, it's like, so much time you're putting into that often. Imagine every 3 weeks spending 2 to 3 hours doing your hair.
Well, the thing is, what else could you be doing with that?
Right.
And that's the issue that I have with the messaging, because I mentioned the Voldemort podcast people that I will not mention again. But basically, you've got these guys. I have no idea how old they are. They're idiotic. They always have some random women around the table with them. And the one thing that I heard that I just really wanted to just, like, I was rolling my eyes and I'm like, gosh, if I saw them, I would kick that dude in the balls right now. But the whole conversation was about how women lose value after the age of 30. And the thing is, even though this guy has the audacity to say it, I think there are some people who believe that, and the hidden messages around how women lose value after a certain age. Oh, you're no longer able to have kids, or you don't look as good, or whatever. And first of all, I think it's gross that older men are objectifying, like, people my daughter's age. My daughter's 20. And I'm like, nasty, gross. And then the other thing is, are you serious? Like, what? I mean, you're just getting started. Like, I just started having fun when I hit my 30s. when I hit my 40s, y'all better watch out when I hit my 50s. I mean, it's going to be crazy.
It's true. It's true. I think that's another point too, is like, if I could tell my younger self, I think it would be, you have plenty of time. I think we're raised to think that we're literally on the clock for everything. You got to go to college and you got to graduate and then you got to get a job and then you got to retire by this age. And then there's so much pressure to have this almost like instant success. And then it's like, what happened with the millennials and we had COVID, we had a pandemic, the Department of Education is being shut down. There's so many factors happening right now. The world is changing, I feel like, daily.
Yeah.
But and our parents don't understand, right? They're kind of still like in that mindset of like, well, you got to work for 30 years and die at your desk. Like that's the mentality. And now we're kind of like we understand that they came from there because we see the retirement lifestyle that they get to live, right? Like the retirement we will never have. Like the boomers got all the money. Like we're never going to get that retirement situation ever, no matter if we work for the government, the county. So we are going to probably have to work a little longer and a lot harder.
Yep.
And then our education, the job market's trash. Our education isn't helping us get the jobs. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And entrepreneurship is on the rise. Yes, but so is AI and so is robots. And so you're competing against all of these things. And I think that's kind of what slowed me down. It's just kind of like, fuck this. Like, I'm going to go at my own pace and I'm going to do what makes me happy and follow my heart. And, I talk to people all the time about their job, right? And most people are like, I'm miserable.
Exactly.
And they're just living in the misery like, well, I'm not at work to make friends. I'm not at work to be happy. I just need to, get out. It's the money. And I'm just like, really? Like, it's like, really? Like, you spend more time at work than you do at home.
Yep.
And you're miserable and that's okay with you because of money? Like, I never ever pictured that for myself. And I tried to force it and it just didn't work. So,
well, kudos to you because
Amen.
I think that's the whole piece of this, that we're told that here are the things you have to do. You have to look like this. You have to do these things. Who says? Why are we subscribing to that message? It's like, I don't. I stopped. So my family thinks I'm absolutely nuts. I moved to Vegas. I had my own business. Yes. I have a really fluid work environment. But guess what? I feed myself. I have a home. I have a car.
Yes.
I get to travel.
Amen.
I'm doing those things. Mm-hmm. And I really like to challenge convention because that's just who I am. Mm-hmm. And so coming back to what you're saying about these expectations of these life milestones, who cares? Like, do life on your own thing. And that includes like how you look. And this whole question about value, I would like to say first, I really believe that we see these things because social media it amplifies, right? You click on one thing and then you're going to see 1,700 things that are just like it. So now that I know that I actually listen to that jackass's thing, I'm probably going to see all these messages about how I'm worthless because I'm over the age of 28.
It's true.
And so I think about like other people who may not have had the life experience and the F you, I don't really care, I'm living my life kind of attitude, and just like, wow, what are they're doing all this stuff to like look and feel 30 for the rest of their lives. And I'm like, you're so missing out on so many things. 100%. Just like your friend, all that energy and effort spent on chasing this thing that doesn't even make sense. Nope. Could be done like starting your business or starting a podcast or, hanging out with your friends or going to the beach or whatever it is that you do that's fun and interesting.
100%. Even like how you touched on how they spoke about like, having kids, like, my husband and I were trying to have a baby, and I feel the pressure a little bit from his side of the family, like, oh, like pretty much saying like, it's going to happen soon. It's like, almost like they're saying like, we're going to make sure we have a baby soon. And I'm like, okay, but like, I've had that like on my heart, cause obviously I want it to happen. But like, what gives me hope is I had two clients, one who she said she had her first at 41 and her second at 43. And this woman, she said, I love that I had that. She's like, because my youth, I spent living my best life. And I know now that I have my boys, I will never be that mom that says because I had kids, I didn't. And And I was like, I love that for me. And then I had another client who is, listen, and I know it's because she's as healthy as she is. She had her first baby at 53 years old.
Ooh,
and listen, but here's the thing. If you were to see her, you would never, she's another one. You would never know her age. She looks like a Barbie doll. She looks incredible and barely has work done. She's just a healthy woman. She works out. She eats well. She runs around with that baby like she's 25 years old.
Well, more power to her.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I had my daughter in my mid-20s and I was exhausted. So that's why I have one perfect child.
There you go.
Your perfect name. I have one perfect child because I could not do that mess again. So anybody who's having kids later in life, I commend you because, I think there's so many pros and cons. That could be a whole nother episode. There are a lot of pros to it too, because mentally, financially, you're at a completely different place in life than you are when you're young and dumb. But yeah, for me, I was just tired because my lovely child decided she wasn't going to sleep through the night until she was like 2.5. So those first 2 years of her life and in my life are a complete blur because I was sleep deprived and, the whole time.
A zombie. Oh
but I think too, like on that podcast, like I hate that those men who have no idea the hormonal experience, the literal experience of a woman, to have them have that the audacity to say about that specific topic. It's like, I'm sorry, did you ever birth a child to have the gall to even say that? Like, no. So.
These fools just got a microphone and say whatever they want to say.
Yeah.
They have no credentials. I don't know what their education background is, if any. I mean, they just literally, and that's the thing about these types of conversations, especially about things that are so important to the rest of us. I mean, it's great. Everyone has a platform. You can say what you want to say, but like, there's no responsibility behind what folks are saying. But not to harp on those folks, but another bone I have to. While we're on the topic,
I know it really grinds my gears.
The beauty industry. I think that's another thing that kind of contributes to the, you're not good enough because they're trying to sell us products. I really think that they probably fund all these crazy people. They're probably like, oh, we'll sponsor you. Say some things about wrinkles. Oh, we'll sponsor you. Say some things about whatever. And they're basically telling you, you are ugly. You are old, you're going to die alone unless you use my cream. So I usually like to work with, I like skincare. I love skincare. I mean, I love taking care of my skin. It's a self-care thing for me. But I usually stick with the brands that are less about, you have wrinkles, let's get rid of them, to like, let's make sure your skin is healthy.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm going to get wrinkles. It doesn't matter what I do. And I'm not going to spend Kris Jenner money on whoever her surgeon is. And plus, that would scare me. I wonder what she looked like when she was recovering.
If you could afford to, if you could get the baby stem cells and drink them, would you? I'm just curious. Like if I was like, here you go, guys, a nice steaming hot cup.
Well, that sounds so unappetizing.
Yeah, I don't know how you intake it. I don't know if it's a shot or a drink.
It's like Ovaltine.
I'm like, would you drink it or would you?
Would have sat in your matcha.
Oh, but do you remember they were do they call them vampire facials or something?
Yes.
And then what Tariq El Moussa, I remember he did it, and then he recorded an episode of his show, and they saw. I was like, oh hell no!
The blood, they poke holes.
Oh,
in the
the
blood.
PRP.
Is that what it is? There's a PRP,
Okay.
and that's something a little different. But it
like
looks painful.
Oh no,
like it looks very.
It
painful.
looks horrible.
It's like a massacre. Yeah.
Well, touching on the stem cells, listen, understanding that stem cells are healing. If I had the opportunity to have stem cells to heal whatever I needed healing, yes, but like for the sake of aging, it wouldn't be for less vanity than more health.
I'm just leery. I have a background as the scientist in my 8 million roles that I've had throughout my life. I am leery of anything that hasn't been like around for a good 20, 30 years because you have no idea. And there's just things that I just don't trust. I just am a little naturally. And so you'd have to really give me a serious like health case for why I want to experiment with that. If something was no longer experimental, it had a lot of research, and if it's something I really wanted, I would try it. But I guess I just am also, in my experience in life, when you start to disrupt Mother Nature, she usually corrects it somehow.
She claps
there's,
back.
There's some sort of like corrective action. So am like a little leery about pushing the envelope on some of those things. You know, that's me. So I don't know if I would do the steaming stem cell Ovaltine.
I guess we'll go to coffee together then.
But y'all do it and tell me what you think.
We'll let you know how it goes.
Like, we don't need to agree.
Oh God, I'm like, am I gonna grow a tail? Like, what the fuck is this?
Well, if you
grow
do,
some wings or some
you know,
shit.
just
like,
bedazzle it or something, make it cute. No, and that's a great thing about this show. We don't have to agree. I think we can be totally opposite in what
for
we
sure.
think. And, you know, there are certain things that I would totally do and people would be like, why? And then vice versa. So, okay, that's a good question. What kind of procedures would you do and why? I'm curious. Is anybody brave enough?
I haven't ruled anything out.
Well, here's the one thing when it comes to aging that I don't like is the jowls. So if I am a woman that ends up with jowls, I'm getting a neck facelift, 100%. The
neck?
hanging, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
if this gets real loose, like I'm not trying to have a turkey neck growing up. So if part of my aging is a turkey neck, I will not accept that. That I will definitely get like I don't know if they call it like a ponytail lift or whatever it is, but I just want to get this.
And they
picked
take
up.
it back by the ears. And
Yeah, just
Yeah.
pick this up. I've got to pick this up. That's it. I would.
You know,
get
I'm an
that.
expert because I watch Botched. So.
I love botched. Love it.
That's my.
What about the rejuvenation?
The vajayjay stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just be honest? Like, I had no idea that that was a thing until I was doing the research for this episode. And I'm just going to laugh because I'm like, how often are you looking at it? I mean, I guess maybe talk to your partner.
I've never looked at mine.
I mean, okay, when they give you the mirror when you're having a baby. And
Really?
they're like, do you want to look? And I'm like, hell no, I don't want to see that.
Please,
I don't
put
want to
that
see
away.
that. Yeah, but apparently, and first, I guess the other thing is like, so does it go like floppy? Sarah, I have no
I
idea.
feel like if you think you need vaginal rejuvenation, then you probably need vaginal rejuvenation. If you think you need it, right? Like that's the answer. You
Well,
can get it.
If you're
Okay.
jowling down
If you
there,
feel like you need it,
Well,
you know,
my understanding
probably.
is it's maybe not as much as what it looks like, but what it feels like.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do some Kegels.
I know Kris Jenner got it. It was on one of the episodes.
Kris Jenner is a new person.
Oh yeah,
But you
she-
know,
with a
I'm not mad
coming
at
out
it.
of a fresh vajayjay with coming out
I
of
mean,
a
she
vajayjay
had
with a fresh
what,
vajayjay.
6 kids? How many kids did she have? She had like 5 or 6 kids.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah,
My
she had
thing is
Kim.
like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah, 6.
if she wants to, go for it.
it's an
What about
after
you?
6 kid thing for sure. I would imagine it's not as like
And I'm doing my exercises right now as we're talking.
Jennifer,
Hold.
please.
My shit's tight.
She's gonna be coming in holding everything from her fucking vajayjay next time. Her bags would be coming.
I do
from
not
her.
do tricks with my JJ. Oh my gosh.
Have
I
you
hope
ever seen
nobody's
that lady
watching.
on Instagram? There's a lady on
Yeah.
Instagram. She holds a freaking like
It's-
surfboard with hers.
It's crazy.
The lady
That's
I saw
crazy.
on TikTok gives you the exercises.
You're supposed to. There's like balls and things you can do to strengthen, those muscles. But I mean,
So what do you think of the vajayjay rejuvenation?
if there's ever a day where I feel that I need it,
It's
She's
time
getting-
to
I will
hit
get it done. But at the
She's
moment,
tightening
I
up her
don't,
bagel.
I don't feel like I need it at the moment. Yeah.
Sorry.
Have you ever had any complaints?
I'm just
of-
trying to think my mom's going to listen to this.
I know.
She's going to be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Sorry, Mom.
I think my mom would be supportive though, because she's always been like, hey, if the one procedure I did get, she was just like, oh yeah. And I talk to her about it all the time.
Yeah, my mom would support me. Mom, my vagina's blowing in the wind. Like, I need this, And I think that she would support me for sure.
I just envisioned you like Marilyn Monroe with the skirt.
Yeah, it's just, it's not looking good.
How do we get from aging to vajayjay?
I mean, at all ages.
At all ages. This
That's
is
true.
Your whole-
Okay, I will say the one thing that was weird for me was when I found my first gray hair down south. I did not like that. So
Okay.
not to whatever. We're talking. So that's
Yeah.
why Brazilian all the way because I don't want to see it. I don't want to.
Oh, you just didn't want to see it.
No.
You didn't have like a crisis meltdown. It was just like,
No, I
Get
mean,
rid of
I don't
this.
really have crises about the older stuff.
Okay.
The thing I don't like about getting older is how my body feels. So we were joking around about the sneezing and the back thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I lifted for many, many years. I lifted really heavy, and that does take its toll. I mean, it's good. I think the way I was bodybuilding, so I was really pushing myself beyond like healthy lifting scenario. And so I think there are some effects of that as I've gotten older, in just terms of I had some overuse injuries. So my shoulder hurts, and, when it rains, my elbow, whatever, something like that. But, I have some back and hip things. Massages are important health care for me. I just don't go for relaxation. It's like I need to go so I can get out of bed. Some days, where was I going with this other than I'm old? Okay, and here's the other thing, and I found myself doing that I'm older. Remember, it's like, oh, my hip. Older people get together and they start complaining about their injuries. Please, if you see me start to do that, just like smack me or kick me or something.
I might just agree with you. I'm like, oh, me too.
I was like sitting down and I was going, ugh. Like every time I would sit down and somebody made a comment like you groan like every time you're sitting down. I'm like, really? I didn't even know I was doing it. And like little things. Little things like that. You can't be groaning and moaning just to sit down on the couch. Like that's not good. But
sorry.
I believe
because that's just going to happen.
I think too, it's tough when you're aging and you were an athlete or athletic when you were young and you were 100%. In sports, and then you're in your 30s and 40s and you try to get out there, you tear your Achilles, you pull a hammy, it's like, and you didn't do nothing. You're
Instant.
Just standing there and you're just like trying to like kick the soccer ball and whoop, your legs broke. And that's when I tore my Achilles 2 years ago, and it was like the tail end of COVID, but I hadn't moved my body the whole time. And so I finally could get in a gym, and I was doing too much, and I just heard pop, and I was like, uh-oh, whoa. What was that? And I was like, I just kind of like twisted my ankle. No. Full tear, you guys. And it was like, I was like, okay, yes, it was COVID, but also, bitch, you're older. Like, you need to I was doing way too much, and I was like, you need to tailor your workouts now to fit where your lifestyle now. You're not as active. You're not as, you don't weigh the same. And you've been, indoors, let's dial it back. So that was a very real awakening for me. And then it was so funny because around the time that I tore my Achilles, I would go out in my little scooter, and there was this one particular event. I went to like a farmer's market, and I kid you not, there was like 5-6 other 30 to 40-year-olds with torn Achilles. And we were all on scooters. And I was like, brothers, sisters. We all like wheeled to each other. We had like a little circle. And we went around and said like, he was like, I was playing basketball. The other was, I was soccer. I was chasing my son. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is real life. Like real life. Life is life. And we're getting older, and we have to, and that was our wake-up call, if you will, because it could have been a lot worse. It could have been something we couldn't heal from quickly. So
I love that you brought that up, though, because one of the things that people think is like when you get older, your life is over, calling the chips, blah, blah, blah. But it really is just about adjusting, just as you would from a 4-year-old to a 15-year-old. You just adjust at different periods of your life. Like I still work out, I still lift heavy. It just looks really different than what it did before.
Jennifer is strong as fuck, you guys. So if you want to work out with Jennifer, I'm just going to give you a warning, okay? Because I thought I could do some things. No.
Thank you for the warning, because she keeps sending me class pass invites, and I'm like,
I did. Another friend of mine came with me the other day. She looked at me. She's like, yeah, no. She's like, what did you sign me up for?
No. And Jennifer is just like, okay, so yeah, pick the weight of your back, sit up slightly. Like Jennifer's correcting me, doing her thing. Okay, now we go over there. I'm like, girl.
Well, I am a personal trainer.
I loved it. I loved it because I'm a psychopath. But I feel like if you're not and you're thinking it's gonna be easy, I don't know if you want to work out with Jennifer, because Jennifer is lifting, honey. She's lifting. Okay, I told her it's gonna take me a month to even like catch up to even get to her PR. Yeah, no,
and at my advanced stage, no, I'm kidding. But I was gonna say, no, it's true, because you can still do all those things that you love. It's different. Yeah. And you're still cute. It's just different. You're cute differently than you were when you were younger. I was, thinking about all the, because I'm single now. And so. And,
say it louder.
Yeah. I'm trying to,
single to mingle.
I'm single. I'm single. And the thing is, people are like, oh, here's another like little issue that I have when they're talking about men and women, like women over a certain age, they're aunties, cougars, thundercat, whatever the terminology
the
is.
kids are saying.
And then I'm like, but there are no terms like that for men. And then I hate the term cougar because it makes it seem like I am going after these young men and for prey. And I'm sure there are people like that. I will say this. I get so much attention now,
Yeah.
more so than when I was 20, 30, whatever. It doesn't matter. And not only that, but it's from all ages. 27, 34, 38, 50, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so for all these people who are holding on to this youth thing, thinking that as I get older, I'm not valuable, people won't like me, whatever, not the case at all. And the reason is, and I'm fatter than I was when I was 18. I've got wrinkles, I've got grays, I don't move as well. So it's like, I'm not one of those people who is like trying to be this younger whatever. I'm just being me. And I think what people are attracted to generally at any age is confidence and people who love themselves, take care of themselves, people who are self-assured. And so that's the thing that's attractive.
Yeah.
And yes, my glowing, beautiful skin. But
Absolutely.
I'm going to thank my grandma for that.
Yes, ma'am.
And all the sunscreen, water, and skincare. But all I'm saying is like, it's not like age does. Once you hit a certain age, life isn't over. Like I have friends who are like, oh my God, life is over. It's like, girl, it was yesterday that you were a different age. You're the same person. You're
Same
good.
person. It's so funny. I used to ask, got men in my life, and some I was dating, some I wasn't. And I would just say, hey, so what's the oldest woman you would date? And I kid you not, every single one of them said, well, I got to see what they look like first. Okay. So no. I was like, maybe you're not hearing my question. The age,
The number.
like, give me a number. No one wanted to give me a number. I'm talking about over 10, 20 men. I still continue to ask this question, and try this at home. Like, if you have a brother, a male friend, someone you're dating, ask them, what is the oldest woman you would date? And they're going to say, I got to see what they look like first. Because they still want J-Lo. They still want Angela Bassett. Like, they still want. And one man was like, well, what do you want me to say? And I said, motherfucker, 100? Like, like, give me a number. Like, that's
Cher's
wild that
boyfriend
you
is
don't have a number.
20-something.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so is Madonna's.
Yeah.
So
think about
I will
that.
say this, though. I've had the opposite thing. All these, first of all, these young men in Vegas, they are bold.
Yes.
And they're like, we like older women. Okay, let me tell you the story. And I hope this guy does not listen to that. Anyway, he's very sweet. I'm really terrible at telling ages. So I was at an event. It was like just a social event. It was this organization I'm in. And a lot of people were talking, having fun, mingling. There's like people are shooting pool. So it was a very like casual, fun environment. And there's these group of people. I didn't know them. I was on greeter duty. So my job is to welcome people, making sure they're great. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to go to this other spot after this event's over. Do you guys want to come? And I say you guys because it was like a group of 10 or 15 of us. So we go, we hang out, and it was a lot of fun. And they're like, this was so much fun. We should all exchange information, and asked me for my Instagram. I don't know. So he asked me for my Instagram. And we talked football, and he invited me to this thing, and I went to this thing, not with him, but I went to the thing, and he was also there. And then we were, chatting, and then he starts flirting a little, and I'm like, oh, and then he's like, maybe we could go out sometime. And I'm like, So I look at his Instagram, and you know how people put like their birth year in the thing?
In their name.
So, yeah. So his birth year was the year that I graduated high school.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh, shit. And so I texted him back. I'm like, I think I'm a lot older than you think that I am. He's like, I don't mind. Like, they don't care. They do not care. One guy I talked to, he said he prefers dating women who are at least 10 to 15 years older than him. And I don't know why. And people are like, oh, it's because they're looking for a sugar mama, stuff like that. I'm like, I don't have any sugar. So, and if I did, I don't share, So just a PSA, y'all young folks. No, but I think that there's less of an issue than people make it out to
Yes.
be. I think it doesn't operate the way that we assume when we see an older person with a younger person, particularly an older woman with a younger man. And when I'm saying younger, adult, not these like 18-year-olds. That's like, I still have an
borderline
issue
illegal.
with that. And I have the same issue with men who are dating women that age too. But if someone's like 30, they're an adult, they've lived a little bit of life, they're out of college, and they choose to date someone older. I mean, hey, doesn't make me a predator, doesn't make
No.
me a whatever, doesn't make them wanting to have a mommy issue or anything like that.
I mean, I will say when I was like in my 20s, I did not like older men. Like in my 30s either. I just wasn't attracted to older men. Like the whole silver fox thing didn't appeal to me. And right now, it's starting to appeal to me.
Hells
like
to
the
the
George
yeah.
Clooney and I love the...
George dyed his hair black.
George Clooney?
He did. I saw
didn't
him
know
at
that
like
he
an
did that.
appearance with his
Recently?
wife. Yeah, it was not.
No.
It was terrible.
No. Don't
I'm
do
like,
that,
why
George.
did you do that?
Don't do that, George. Please don't do that to us.
Anyway, sorry.
But like the Pedro Pascal, like the older, sexy, the wisdom, the salt and pepper, like that's
Zaddies.
just
The
now.
zaddies with the Z.
Yeah, starting to appeal to me. And I think it's because like you realize that age doesn't really have a whole lot to do with maturity because I've dated older men that are so immature. It's just like, damn, like I might as well date a 25-year-old because they're so just, I don't know what it is. I think it's purposeful. I think it's intentional. I don't think a lot of, I will say men want to grow up. I think women we're kind of forced to, but that's a whole nother story. But I think men kind of have a choice in the matter. They can wait until they're 65 to have a kid and settle down and get married. So there's this
gross.
this weird naivety that they hold on to, right? And then they kind of try to pass it off as like, oh, innocence. But really it's not. It's a little purposeful and sometimes it's predatory, right? Depending on their age. So I think I'm just now appreciating men who are 50 plus and they're mature and they're charismatic and they're sensitive and they're kind and they're all these things that 30, 40-year-old men should be getting themselves together and starting to embrace, and they're not. And so,
Men aren't fully cooked until they're at least 38.
yes, it's true. It's
Put them
true.
back in the oven.
It's so true. And I think the young guys too, when you date a young guy, I remember I was dating a young guy and he had never had like bread service or something at a restaurant. We went to a restaurant and he was like, wow, like he had an oyster. He was living his best life. He thought I was rich. And he thought, and I'm like, oh, well, this is that. And I found myself kind of like enjoying those moments where I was introducing him to new things. And so I cut it off right away because I was like, no, because I'm going to stay here. That's what this means. Like, I need somebody that's going to elevate me
Yeah.
and show me new things. And so I think there are some women who, I'm not going to name any names, but there are certain video vixens and stuff that are getting basketball players and getting these young players and stuff. And it's because they got a little more wisdom. They're a little more nurturing and they're a little more, but they're not going to be elevated.
Yeah.
The guys, men only will drag you down to where they are.
Right.
Like they're you know what I mean? That's
You're
how
meeting them at their level.
You're meeting them at their level. It'll never go any further than right there. So, I think it's important to date who you want to date within the legal limits, and just be mindful. Like I learned the hard way that men don't mature with age.
No, and that's why I think the number doesn't make it doesn't make the person, man or woman, right? Because like for me, I have a decently wide dating breadth age-wise, but it's more like what I'm looking for are the qualities, like the maturity. Are you taking care of yourself? And that's a big deal for me. And it's not, and a lot of people think that you want these people with like 6 feet tall and six packs and all this stuff. I don't really care about any of that stuff. What I really care about is that you're taking care of yourself because I want to be active. I want to have a great life. I want to travel. And I need someone who's able to physically keep up with that. And so that means you're probably exercising. You're probably eating good foods. And so that's what I'm looking for. If you're bald, I don't care. If you're gray, I don't care. If you're a little younger, I don't care. Right. Just as long as you are, have those qualities. And I think for women, it should be the same thing. It's Absolutely. Like, I'm not looking for to look or be a certain number or a certain age. There's not something that I'm trying to recapture. Every day I'm like, how am I the best me right now? And what does that mean? For me, it's a lot of self-care, not for the external validation, but so I feel really good and I feel really confident. And I look at them in the mirror, I'm like, damn girl, you look good, you know? And that feels really good. And that's that attitude and the confidence that I want to continue to carry no matter how old I am.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was probably, you know, my quote physical prime, I didn't have any of those things. I was self-conscious. I probably wasn't taking very good care of myself. I was tired and I looked crazy. Like I look at pictures of me maybe 15 years ago and maybe I'm younger, but I think I look way more energized now. I look happier. I look healthier now.
Yeah.
So I think that's the point of the whole age piece.
Yeah. Even touching based on like what Tia said earlier, she was talking about like even the timeline of like success. And I feel like we've all seen the like inspirational carousels on Instagram that has like, you know, Morgan Freeman and like Vera Wang and J.K. Rowling. Like they all hit their success or career success in their 50s. Like they went through the struggle to figure it out, but they finally hit it older in life and they're thriving now and they're young still. And they're in their 60s, 70s, maybe even older. So it's like one of those things where it's like there really isn't a timeline. And I think of even me, myself, like I am going to be 40 next year. And I think about who I was 9 years ago. I was a hot ass mess 9 years ago.
Yeah.
So to think of like having children and being successful and all of these timelines of age at that age, I'm like, I would never fucking be of sound mind and body at 30 to have that in my life. So I think that that has to be lifted and realized like it doesn't exist. It's not real.
The limit does not exist.
Huh? It doesn't exist, guys.
doesn't.
It's not real.
It
Your parents
doesn't.
were lying. There's no timeline for your age.
Did anybody get that Mean Girls reference?
Of course.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't.
And you
I
were-
watched it like once or twice.
See, you're not a real millennial.
I'm just joking. Listen, my husband makes fun of me because of my lack of movie knowledge. So sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm a movie buff. That's why. The last
Both of you
I've
are.
seen that movie about like 3,000 times.
Yeah, too many times. Even like my girls, because a coach cheer, and they quote that. They love that movie. Like it's older movie, so I'm surprised, but they love Mean Girls. Cult classic.
I'm gonna watch it when I get home.
Thank you. Please.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping.
I remember that.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Okay, this is not a Mean Girls episode.
That could be a good episode.
I mean, final thoughts, though. I mean, we talked about how men think we're crap after 30.
Yeah.
And there's no timeline and expectations of us as we age. Vajacials. No, not vajacials. The rejuvenation.
Yes.
Thank you, Tia, for that one.
I think a vajacial is a thing, however.
They are.
It is.
Okay.
It's like you
They are.
steam it and then,
Yep.
I don't know.
Oh, I think I've done that.
Yeah.
It was used to call, didn't they call it like a noni facial?
Yeah.
A noni
Yeah,
something?
I
Yeah.
think I did that. I don't know if I felt like it was a facial. It was hot. That's all I remember. It was
I
steam.
don't know if
It
I
was very
wanted to
hot.
be hot and steamy down there.
It
I feel
was-
like that's a bacteria thing.
It was
Yeah.
interesting. It was
Sounds
interesting.
like an infection.
It was interesting. I don't know. It was. I felt like it was like a smoke and mirror show. Like I paid all this money and it was just like some stones and some incense.
But don't people
and-
get it bedazzled too?
Yep.
Yes,
They do.
Yes.
Is everything
do.
vaja something?
But see,
I don't know.
Capitalism.
you don't.
But
even
the
need all
closing thoughts, I think it's you. It's your choice. Like if that's how you feel that you need to do, if you feel like you want the Botox, if you want the thing like for yourself, go for it. If that's how you feel, amazing. But if you're getting outside influence to tell you like I need to look better because they say so, that's where we're going wrong. So that's my take on the whole aging and fixing the aging for yourself.
Yeah, I years ago, I attended this thing, and Rosie, if you're listening, this is your seminar. I was in a mastermind program, and she said basically all human emotions stem from either love or fear. And everything, whether you're upset, it's fear. If you're happy, it's love. Like it's all based out of love or fear. So whenever people are thinking about their life, where they are, what they should be doing, how they want to treat their bodies, I always will challenge you to say, is this love or is it fear? And I say, let's go more towards the love side. Because if you love yourself, you're going to be doing things that feel good, look good, and are good for you. And it's going to feel amazing. But if you do it out of fear, then we're succumbing to these crazy standards and it's not really improving your life. You might think it is, but it's not. So when it comes to aging, love it, embrace it. When it comes to the changes your body experiences, when your skin experiences, the little sagginess, your jowls or whatever, are you making changes out of love or fear? And so I would just encourage people to just ask themselves those questions and move to the love side.
I love that.
That's great. That's really great. I mean, there's definitely going to be some fear. Okay. So, because I still have those fears. So, and I think it's easier said than done, especially when you're in your 20s and you're insecure about everything or younger, maybe and 30s, and there's still insecurities in your 40s, unfortunately, y'all. But you have to do whatever it takes. Like if it's self-care, like Jennifer was saying, to get past that. If it's meditation, if it's, unplugging, you have to, it takes some time to even figure out what that is, what that means to you. But so I will say, just don't feel rushed. You do you. I know people who rush to go to law school, rush to go to medical school, and they hated being a doctor. They hated being a lawyer. They're $1 million in the hole, because they weren't true to themselves and they didn't follow their heart. They were living their parents' dreams or their grandparents' dreams. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to make your family happy. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, where does that leave you? And now so I will say that I agree wholeheartedly with both of these ladies. We have overcome a lot of obstacles to get to where we are. And I love that we're so honest and candid in every episode. And I probably share too much, but I don't care because I think I didn't watch a podcast like this. And when I was feeling this way in my 20s, I wish I would have had a community of women who were a little older than me to give me some guidance and some advice or, so I think I would say just feel free to reach out to us and ask us questions and send us, your situationships or whatever, because we've all been through it. If one of us hasn't, the other one has. Okay,
we have a friend.
So we're not going to steer you wrong. We're not going to bullshit you. So
Be super honest.
Oh yeah. So I will just say, just stay true to yourself. And if you don't know what to do, don't do anything.
There we go. See, this is why I love working with you ladies. And I appreciate you saying that. And you guys, our DMs are open. So if you're following us on IG at brasoff_pod, send us a message. We actually look at it. And I say collective we, right? We actually look at it. We'd love to hear from you and respond. I mean, tell us we're full of crap. Tell us, you love what we said. Ask us about the rejuvenation. Although don't ask me, I don't know. But the thing is, it's like, this is all about having great conversations. And so the conversations don't mean that we all agree. The conversations don't mean that you have to agree with us. The conversations are things that are on our mind that we historically never talk about or we haven't been allowed to talk about. So let's talk about those things. So drop us a comment. We're on TikTok, subscribe to YouTube, all that good stuff. And of course, listen and rate the show. But with that, have a great, old, wonderful aging day.
Your old ass.
Let me get my cane. And we're out.
Thanks for listening to Bras Off. Did you love it? If you did, go to brasoffpod.com to join our community of baddies dedicated to bold conversations, dynamic learning, and unforgettable connections. Until next time.